Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this setup is once again different. So I never did this setup, but I am collabing with my friend Diana, which is over there. So I am doing this way so I could stay in this room where I'm at. So today we are talking about ADHD, which we both have.
Yes. And yes, we are wearing the same clothes from the one where we talked about the learning disabilities versus developmental disability video. It's because we're doing it, not even 5 minutes apart?
Maybe 3 minutes apart.
Yeah, not even 5, so that's why we're in the same clothes. But...
And that's my new phone right there. You get to see my new phone for the first time.
Yay!
So, where do we want to start?
Well, we kind of scratched the surface in the learning disabilities versus developmental disabilities video, kind of towards the end of my section, so if you haven't seen that one...
Go and check it out!
Yeah, I'm assuming Michaela will be linking that below.
Mm-hmm.
So
most likely.
Go check that one out first so you can get an idea of scratching the surface, but I guess we could kind of refresh it as well. So basically, I guess we should start by saying what the actual name of it is.
Yes.
You don't know. And Michaela, do you know it?
No, actually I don't, because my doctor never said that to me, told me that.
Well, I have a developmental psychologist as a mother, so I know a lot of these things. The actual full name, ADHD is an acronym, so it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. So, some of you have probably heard of ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, where basically there's a lack of focus, and that's what we have, but add hyperactivity to that.
Yep.
Which means we'll start twitching, fidgeting.
You name it, we'll do it, basically.
Yeah, now there are certain, twitches or shticks that are more associated with autism, which, again, check out the learning disabilities versus developmental disabilities video for that. I talk a lot about that because I also suffer from autism. But ADHD is a developmental disability. So that means it does put us a little bit... You may look at us and think we're more of kids than teenagers, late teens particularly. We're actually both adults now. With the twitching and the fidgeting, I know Michaela in particular has a hard time staying still.
Yeah.
I don't have as much difficulty with that, but my attention span without my meds is insane.
Yeah, I have a very, very hard time staying still. It gets to the point where I literally start using either the chair as a trampoline,
or the
couch, or whatever.
Tell that story in this video.
Yeah.
So, Michaela, I had gone down to our dear friend Jordan Twitchell's place to spend the night, and then the next day I was going to go to my first Assemblies of God service as research for a research paper, and also for me to know, a little bit more about it and see if it really was what I wanted to pursue as my faith, because I was not feeling attached really at all to the Catholic Church, which is where I have been raised. So, and Michaela and her mom happened to be there cleaning out their house in Groton. So, and they didn't have running water there, so they were spending time at the Twitchells.
Yes.
So we all went to church the next day, and in life group, which is kind of the only way I can describe it is Sunday school for those of you who've never heard of it. So it's basically like a Sunday school type thing, but they do it, I think, what are there, 3 levels, Michaela? This is what help me out a little bit.
For life groups?
For kids, teens, and
okay,
adults.
so there's so you have the nursery. There's a separate Sunday school in the nursery, and then there's another separate Sunday school for like the little kids. Like for the toddlers who is going to school, starting to go to school, and is potty trained and stuff like that. And then there's first, I think there's first and second and third graders. Well, first through through fourth grade, yeah. And then there's there's another separate one for fifth through all the way through. I'm trying to think through 8th grade.
And then there's
7th grade. It's through 7th grade. It's until 7th grade, and then the class that we were in is 8th.
I thought that was high schoolers.
High schoolers, but 8th grade is also part in that as well.
So 8th grade and high schoolers, and then adults.
And then there's separate classes for the adults.
Okay. So basically it is like Sunday school, but it goes through to adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Which, even if you're 18, I believe if you're still in high school, you can still go to high school in one.
Yeah, as long as you're like in high school still, you still go in that class. But when you graduate, then you go into...
So, I had the choice because I was 18 but still in high school, so I went with Michaela to the high schooler one because I felt a little more comfortable doing that one.
Because I rock.
I can't even remember what we were discussing at that point, but you started being like crazy.
Hyper.
Now, I have a bad knee. You were about to use the couch. She was about to use the couch as a trampoline. I had to put my hand on her knee, and I had to say, "You need to settle down."
Then I settled down.
But I'm like, my knee is hurting because you're shaking the couch. You were the only one on the couch. But my knee was starting to act up because you were shaking the couch so much.
Yeah, I was getting pretty hyper, and actually in the car on the way to church.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to tell that?
I remember that. So I told the life group one time, and you tell the life one in the car.
Okay. So on the way to church, we were both extremely hyper. I don't remember who started off.
Now, mine had started to kick in a little, but they were definitely not full force yet.
Mine wasn't. Mine wasn't.
It was not.
I was definitely not very calm.
No.
I was very hyper, and I was getting extremely loud in the car. And Mrs. Twitchell's... Yeah, we both were, because basically what happens with ADHD is that if one person's hyper, then the other person will automatically get hyper.
We tend to bounce off of each other, but there is a time where I can, like going back to the couch thing, I was able to tune that out, tap into the pain in my knee to, stop that from affecting me and calm her down.
Yeah, but...
It depends on how much control you have over your hyperactivity.
Yeah, so, anyways, Mrs. Twitchell was like, you need to call... You girls, we are not far apart.
It's not that big.
Yeah, this car is not that big. And you guys are right next to each other.
It was a very small car.
Yeah, and we were getting extremely loud, and Mrs. Twitchell was not having it.
Yeah, well, she's also a teacher, so that's
Yeah.
We did quiet down, though.
Yeah, we did. Because we were both tired.
No, we weren't exactly tired, but we quieted down because we didn't want to annoy her.
Oh, yeah.
We were not tired because the couch thing happened after.
Oh yeah. That was pretty funny, though.
Yeah. So those are two prime examples.
And also, there's one more example, too. There's one more example. Not even, like, with the hyperness activity, but we tend to change... yeah, that.
Yes, splitting into two words, it's one.
But we tend to change subjects, like, just like that.
Oh. If you were to see any of our conversations, you'd be like, how did we get here? There were some times where Michaela and I have been talking, and I've been like, how did we get on this topic?
Yeah. But here's the thing.
That also happened with me and Jordan.
But here's the thing. To us, it makes complete sense. To us.
Yeah. We'll make connections that, neurotypical people, so people who don't have any developmental learning disabilities or learning disabilities or anything going on with their brain that is atypical, in quotes, because what is normal is the real question there. But anyway, neurotypical people will not understand how we are making these connections.
Yeah, they'll be like, what? Wait, where did that subject come from?
So, the best way I can explain this is there was this Geico commercial where this mom and son were talking, and all of a sudden the mom goes, the squirrels are back in the attic, and your father will not call an exterminator because he says it's personal this time. Whenever I start making connections that my parents can't follow, because both of my parents, well, my adopted parents, both of them are neurotypical, they'll be like, the squirrels are back in the attic. So that's kind of the general way our conversations go. Especially when it's two ADHD people.
Yeah.
Or me and Jordan. Because that can happen with me and her sometimes. I don't know if it's happened with you and her, Michaela.
No.
With me and Jordan.
I don't think so.
All of a sudden we'll be talking about something completely different than what we started talking about, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, how did we even end up on this subject? But sometimes the connections can be so out there that our topics will completely be different. So anyway, we will end up on something that has in no way connects to what we started out talking about. So, for example, we could start out talking about how our days were going and then end up on Bible study.
Yeah.
Or even more drastic, we could start out talking about Bible study and then be talking about the weather.
Yeah, that's true.
Or apples or something like our favorite foods. Or weird food combos that we like. You get the idea. Our conversations usually are just like all over the place, like blah, 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 and it's like, how are you connecting this to this to this to this to this to this? There's no connection.
But to us, there's a connection apparently.
To us, it makes complete sense.
Yes.
Now, another thing that I've noticed happening with me, I don't know if it happens with you, Michaela, or if this is an autism thing that I did not mention in the other video, is kind of being off in our own little world.
Oh, yep. That happens to me.
Where you'll just be like, da-da-da-da-da, off in your own little universe that no one else is a part of. Or, a few close friends are a part of.
You don't know the half of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's us. We can sometimes Now, typically, we are very good at differentiating between reality and
Yeah.
real world. But sometimes you'll catch us just kind of being like, la-di-da-di-da, in our own little world.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot in the car when I'm not sleeping. On long car rides, I'll just start imagining fun things. I'll make a list of things I want to do with people or something like that. And then imagine doing everything on that list. We're also quite imaginative.
Oh, yeah. I think it's, like, for me, I thought, like, at first, like, it was because I'm, like, the only child.
No, I'm the same way. 100%. Mom is like, wait, huh? You did what?
Yeah, when...
I have done this, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I would do little experiments in my room, like chemistry experiments. Mixing things that should not be mixed together. Like deodorant and a bunch of other stuff that I should not be mixing together. Did you know that aluminum can explode if you put water, like if it reacts with water? And there's aluminum and deodorant. Of course, I was mixing deodorant with water. Never had an explosion, but it could happen.
Yeah, this is reality when we talk, when I hear something that should not be done.
Yeah.
I start...
I'm not afraid to admit that on the internet. There was one time where I was trying to build my own lightsaber. Like, hilt and all. So.
Did we hit all the points?
I think we did. Do you have any embarrassing stories of things you were doing because of the ADHD?
Actually, one time in counseling, all of a sudden I would just be like looking down, fidgeting with my fingers, and then my counselor was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, my parents, one time I brought in a Rubik's Cube to fidget with, and my counselor was like, "You're seriously going to be doing that while we're in a session?" Fidget. So, yeah. These are things that we have done because of our ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
I think the majority of the videos is telling embarrassing stories. Oh, that is not a good camera angle. So anyway, I think we know the things. Unless something that we missed.
I think we pretty much hit every point.
Oh, another thing is if you see us on a sugar high.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, for some reason, I found that for me personally, caffeine does not give me much of a buzz. It gives me a little bit of a kick.
Yeah, that's the same with me. It's like caffeine doesn't like really do much for me. Like it will make me wide awake, but it won't make me hyper.
Yeah, and you would think, but sugar.
Yeah, sugar makes me extremely hyper.
Me too. Me without my meds on a sugar high.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's a wonder that people were not peeling me off of the ceiling at school. Yeah, I once forgot my ADHD. Okay, one more embarrassing story. I once forgot to take my ADHD meds and had a whole thing of Sour Patch Kids in my backpack and was snacking on them during the day. And I got to, I think it was like 5th period. I was off the walls. I was not focused and I was excessively hyper. Now, one thing that I've heard is actually, you will be surprised by this. Did you know that and I think this is the reason caffeine does not affect us. Caffeine is a stimulant or an antidepressant. It actually, in some cases, can make me calmer. But depressants would have the opposite effect. So our ADHD meds are actually antidepressants. Fun fact. But I don't know if you knew that one, Michaela.
No, I did not.
So, in some cases, if you have an ADHD person who's depressed or suffers from depression, if they may notice that some of their depression symptoms actually aren't as bad when they take their ADHD meds. I found that one out because not only from health class, but also from Jordan when she asked me if when I took my ADHD meds it helped with my depression.
So we should end out this video before we go on to any bunny trails.
Yeah. But that was just another funny story that I had. And then another fun fact.
So, bye guys. Thank you for watching.
Please like and subscribe. Make sure you also make that bell fully gray.
And also,
so you will get all notifications.
And also check out Diana's channel as well.
That one's questionable. But I will have a video going out hopefully sometime in the relative near future that Michaela is going to be helping me with. So,
I'll put it down in the link.
Yeah. So it won't be, I do want to make it clear, it won't be like what you're seeing here. She's going to be helping me edit it. So she's going to be doing more of the behind the scenes stuff because Diana's editing stupid and doesn't know how to do what she wants to do. So Michaela does stuff.
Yeah, because I just figured it out.